Hello and welcome to the Ukuleleist.
A one, two, three, four.
Are you saying puff?
No.
Okay, let's not say puff because we can't. I'm Holden, and thanks for joining me. Today, I would like to start at the foundation, since I really don't have any instructional videos up. I'd like to first talk about picking technique, because that's what I use a whole lot of, and the G major scale, because I'm a low G player, and I really like knowing that my lowest note is my root note. I am really comfortable playing in this key, and if you're familiar with the circle of fifths, you'd know that C has no sharps or flats up at 12 o'clock, and 1 over a fifth would be G, and it has 1 sharp, and that is F sharp. So you'd have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. G and G, those are your octaves. It's always really good to know those. If you're going for a 1 octave G major scale, I like using 3 notes per string. Some people don't. I like relying on shapes. Some people don't, but this is how I approach it, and it would be if I wanted to go into a 2 octave, I would change positions. And when I change positions, you're going to notice that there is no difference in volume. There's no evidence that I changed positions on the fretboard. I want it to be as seamless as if I had those notes continuing right below here. So I'll play that for you. Two things that I'd like to quickly bring up that I will make future videos about. One is how important it is to know all the note names on the fretboard. A lot of the tutorials that I watch talk about string number and fret number, which is great for learning, but if you want to become a better, more proficient musician, I suggest that you learn the note names. It's much easier to communicate with other musicians with that lingo than a fret number and a string number that don't correspond to another instrument. So that's the first thing. Second thing is learn your circle of fifths. It's so very important, so very beneficial, and once you learn it, you will understand why it will be your best mental musical friend. So just those two things. Learn the notes on the board and learn your circle of fifths. So I'm holding it in a very familiar position. I'm also holding it so that it's sitting comfortably between my fingers, but it's not rigid. So it almost feels like it'll fall out of my hand. It doesn't ever feel like it's going to fall out of my hand. It feels like it's going to get there. And that's where I find I have a sweet spot for gaining maximum speed in my playing, because of how it works with my wrist. And that's my next point, is that you don't drive the pick from your elbow. You're going to keep everything stationary in your upper arm, in your forearm, and this is going to be your hinge, because obviously you have some math going on here. You're obviously going to be a lot faster here than you are here. This is more strumming, this is picking. So what I do is I always try and keep my picking like right over the sound hole. A lot of my strumming stuff is over the fingerboard, and then a lot of my picking stuff I try to more consciously bring back into this area, because tonally it is much sweeter. It's a little more accurate because you're getting closer to the bridge, so it's a little bit more staccato, but I find the sound hole to be the sweet spot for picking. So when I position my arm, usually I try to put it so that it's right over the sound hole. I'm not perfect, so most times you'll hear me clicking on the fingerboard, which I hate, and I'm working on that. We're going to be driving the pick from our wrist. So when you approach it, you're going to try and actually just very smoothly pay attention to how you hold this, because ultimately this is what is going to create your tone. Knowing that it's in the exact same place, or at least as close as possible every time you hold the pick, will make it easier to produce a more consistent tone, a more consistent volume, and a more consistent ability to play faster. The reason why I use an up-down stroke or a down-up stroke, and why pretty much I think every single fast player uses this technique, is because it's faster. I mean, and then so the down-up stroke has been proven to work. That's also what she said. So a few picking exercises in the G major scale that I like to use are inspired by solfege. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Am I in G? Do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So I do intervals. In progression. Descending. I would also work in some string skipping exercises. Nailed it. And that would be with a 3-note per string application, not focusing on landing on that G to end the scale. So that would be in a first position without moving. So how I approach a picking exercise would be and descending as well. Go back to that chromatic scale, ascending. Descending. I surely hope you enjoyed our time together today. I know I did. I love being able to share some of what I love most with you, and I'm so blessed that you're all so supportive, and I just can't get over all the kind words and all the messages that you've all been sending me. It's a great feeling, and for anybody else out there who is hesitant about sharing what they love doing, just start sharing it, because you will quickly find out that there is a community of people who love your work and who just adore people who are passionate about what they do, because the people who are passionate in what they do, when they have the support that they need, they can reach heights that they've never imagined before. So that's one thing, is if you are hesitant about sharing, just share it. There's always going to be someone better than you, and there's always going to be somebody that's not as good as you, but we all need to treat each other like we're on the same level and support each other, because music is for fun. We do this for fun. I just wanted to say again, thank you for joining me, and if you did get anything out of it, hit the subscribe and like the video, because I'll be coming back at you with a whole lot more. This is just the start. So I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the love and support. Aloha.